Everyone. It is Tuesday, January 17th, and it is cold here in Quincy, Illinois. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday it was 60 and, well, somewhat sunny, and today people are running around wondering where it all went wrong. Hey, listen, welcome to Economics, everybody. I'm Greg Lee, and I'm going to get to be working with you for the next several weeks as we wander through this wonderful world we call our economy. I wanted to thank several of you for jumping right in and getting started. Dylan, Josh, I know you've been in the threaded discussion along with a couple other folks. Courtney, thank you for getting your first assignment turned in. I hope to have a chance to look at that later this afternoon, maybe tomorrow morning. Wanted to just go over a couple reminders about the class with all of you. I've made myself some notes and set them kind of to the side on my desk. So if you see me looking away, you'll know what I'm doing, just trying to remind myself of those important topics that I want to talk with all of you about. First of all, one thing that I see folks do that will cost you some points is related to our threaded discussion question. Now, what you found in your announcement is that I'm going to post a question out there, and you'll have an opportunity to do two things. Number one, you have to respond to the question itself. And then number two, I'd like you to respond to a comment made by one of your classmates. Now, I'll tell you, there are about 25 of us in class, something like that. So for this first unit, you may get in there and think, well, gosh, I don't have anything else to say because 18 other people have already been in there. Don't worry about that. I know you're going to have to restate the obvious sometimes. I also plan to get in and post another question so that will give you a chance to go a different direction. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. From here on out, I'm going to try to break you down into littler groups so there will be fewer of you working toward a question, and you won't have to worry about just repeating everything. You'll see that come later. Now, back to my original point. Threaded discussion questions. You've got to post 2 responses to get credit. So it's an easy 10 points if you'll get in and do the work like some of you who've already started. But if you post just 1 response, you're not going to get credit, okay? And the other thing that you found in your announcement was simply this. It takes more than just getting in and going, yeah, I like that. Oh, what he said, what she said, woo, okay. I want you to put a little thought into your response as it relates to what other folks have said in there. Okay, so one word answers don't get it. Now, a quick word about computer problems, technical problems. I've got all the due dates posted in the syllabus and in a document in the document sharing section. I'm sure that you've all had an opportunity to see that. Please be aware of those due dates because if you are late, I'm not going to be able to accept your work. Now, related to that issue is the fact that crazy things are going to happen. I am convinced that there are computer gnomes out there, and at the last moment, they're going to get into our software and just turn everything to mush. So I'm telling you this, do not wait until the last minute to get your work turned in, okay? Because let's say the first due date is January 27th, and it's due by midnight Central Standard Time. If you start at 11 o'clock to do the work for that, and your computer goes down, you may not be able to get your work turned in. And that's a risk that you take by waiting to the last minute. So try to get your work done a couple days early. That way, if you have a computer problem, you've still got a couple days to get that computer problem fixed. And my deal is simply this. I don't accept late work for any reason. I don't care if you were hit by a bus. I don't care if a tree fell on the cat. I don't care if the computer crashed. You've got to take responsibility to get some things done early. So do it a little early, okay? Don't wait till the last minute. Get things done early, turn it in, get the points. Now, we've got some written assignments to do along the way. You'll see those in each unit. I would like you to get those done early too, because that will give me time to look at your responses and turn around and give you some feedback. Again, if work is due by a midnight on a Friday, and you don't turn that in until 10 o'clock Friday night, you don't have the opportunity to hear back from me in terms of what kinds of things you did well and what suggestions I might have in other areas. So get your work done early. I've had a couple questions about the graphing. And there are several different ways that you can handle that. I'll tell you the two most common ways that I see people handle that. Number one, if you're proficient with Excel, you can do your graphing in Excel, send it to me. If you want to do the graphs by hand, scan them in, and then send it to me, that works fine too. I know a lot of students like to do that because they don't work with Excel all the time, and it's just as easy to hand draw a graph, scan it in, and send it in. So that all works fine. Now, one last reminder about due dates. The first due date I pushed back to give everybody a chance to get in and get going, but please know that it becomes a quick turnaround time from that first unit to the second unit. You've got about a week to get everything done. And know that in that second unit, we've got our first exam. So while I gave you a couple extra days to get that first unit in, I suggest you get it done a little bit early if you can. Give yourself a little extra time to get through the next unit, go into that first test, and get a good job. I am in and out of my office through the day. My phone number is listed on the syllabus. You're welcome to give me a call. People find it, I think, a little easier to catch up with me via email because I am more often near a computer as I'm going from one class to another or one meeting to another, and we'll have an opportunity to get to that computer and respond to your email messages a little more quickly than I do to the phone messages. But you're welcome to give me a call. If for some reason you're in Quincy and you want to come by and see me, you're welcome to also come by and see me. Well, we're off and running for the semester. We've got 15 more weeks of all kinds of fun headed our way. I hope you enjoy economics. I always enjoy working with you and looking at this crazy world in which we live. So I wish you all the best of luck. Hopefully it warms up this weekend as predictions are saying, and you all will get to have a good and enjoyable weekend. Have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.